Podcast night on Gargantua-1 is part of the Casual Cult Network. Make sure those airlock doors are secure. Yeah, we don't want to revisit movie night or anything like that.
Well, I think that's settled then. We'll meet back here in 2 days, and you get to keep Colin as collateral. Well, then you get to kill him. The Guild of Calamitous Intent is pretty clear on that one. You gotta kill him. Those are orders. Welcome back to Podcast Night on Gargantua-1. I'm Grimmia, your host, and unfortunately, I'm all alone on the space station, which is kind of creepy. Colin isn't feeling well. Oh, well, he's not feeling well, and Phantom Spaceman has taken him hostage, so, I'm sure it'll be fine. Today we are talking about episode 9 of season 1, Are You There, God? It's Me, Dean, which, if you were in middle school the same time I was, you probably read that Judy Blume book. Maybe you didn't. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. I'm not quite as zazzy as Colin is, but I'm not totally alone either. I have my print of Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, so the two of us will get through this just fine. Hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm lecturing you too much. But let's start my lecture. This episode was directed by Public and written by Hammer, and it is a true story. Doc Hammer had testicular torsion as a child, and some of Billy's lines to Dean about what was going on with him are actually what Hammer's doctor had said to him when he had testicular torsion. That is fucking horrifying, and you can get ovarian torsion too if you don't have testicles and you have ovaries instead. That's a thing you can get. So remember when we started this show, and I talked about how the Venture Brothers, how Public envisioned like comic book anthology series, and things would just be happening, and we would start in the middle of it. This is one of those times, because we start in the Amazon. We have no idea how they got to the Amazon. We don't know how the Monarch's super good, amazing, incredible henchmen had bested Brock and kidnapped everybody. We don't even know where Grover Cleveland's time machine came from. What happened to it? We have no clue. Grover Cleveland, for the non-American listeners, and I guess American listeners who didn't know this, Grover Cleveland was the president of the United States twice. He was our 22nd and 24th president, and currently the only president in U.S. history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. The jury is still out on whether or not he had a real time machine. Instead, we get to learn about some bureaucracy, and we get some world and lore building. Guild of Calamitous Intent laws, which, a lot of them are the direct result of something happened to Rusty, so Jonas made them come up with rules. We've had 10 episodes, 10 episodes if you count the pilot, of Brock just continuing to be incredible. He has to, his job is to guard a body. That's why the Monarch takes Hank, and then he's humoring the Monarch by killing all his henchmen, I guess, just to prove that the Monarch's an actual villain, ? He's just kind of going along with it, because it's fun. It gives him something to do for 2 days, and the Monarch's just kind of fucking with Hank. Malcolm's a good guy. I know, Colin's not here, so I can call him by his name. I can call him Malcolm. Malcolm's a good guy. His girlfriend adores him. His henchmen like him, like their surprise birthday party, and the henchmen are like, who the fuck got him Brock Sampson? And we do keep some continuity. Hank says that last time he was here, he was in an old jail cell, and the Monarch's like, it's because you hurt me, or something like that. So that's from an earlier episode when Hank and Dean wouldn't call him the, uncle. I appreciate when shows maintain some level of continuity. It's harder with animation, and it's harder with sitcoms, because usually you're viewing one episode without the entire scope of the story. Oh, hey, Phantom Spaceman, do you wanna... Where's Colin? If you're sure he's okay there, then I guess that's okay. Do you want to do this with me, or... Yeah. Have a seat. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Rusty tried to be literally helpful, useful. He tried. Dean didn't want him to help, and Dean did tell him to go away. So I guess in fairness to Rusty, while Pete and Billy were doing everything, sure, just sit there and eat your sandwich, but oh my god, you did not have to invite your neighbor, the quote-unquote doctors who did your surgery, and your neighbor's hot goth daughter over while you're in recovery for anything involving your genitalia. I would have died. Triano is correct. That is probably the most humiliating thing to ever happen to Dean. As far as references go in this episode, obviously there's a few. The title is a Judy Blume book. There's a couple of Star Wars jokes in there, and then the guy from In Excess, he allegedly died from autoerotic asphyxiation. But none of those were, like, super new. This episode had a lot more dealing with the people, so the references were just kind of like little quips that they might say. A lot of insight into the Monarch, how stoked he is to show off in front of Hank for some reason. He gels super well with the boys, specifically Hank, because he's like fucking around with him. Hank, I'm your dad. Haha, fuck you. I'm not, just kidding. Fucking around with his henchmen, kind of. Well, he's sending them to their death, but that's fine. The Monarch's a good guy. He's a super chill guy. And then some more insight into Rusty, as always, with the whole being absent while being present. He's not the most attentive or observant, because, I mean, Dr. Girlfriend, she answered, like, the video call. Rusty didn't notice that was Charlene from Midlife Chrysalis. I think her name's Charlene. He has no idea. Not a fucking clue.
My brain was about to jump straight to the intro question. Wow.
Hey,
We don't have.
support
Who
you.
are we? You don't need to know that. All that matters is the story.
Yep.
If you're enjoying what our mystery show is doing, there are numerous ways to support the show on our
Did you say
Beacons
mystery
page.
show?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Mystery TTRPG Theater 5000.
Catch the chaos live Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/The Forgotten Troop.
I'm making a return to streaming, so if you guys want to see some casual video game play, come on over. You can find my link and the links in the description. You know? You go to the link tree for us, and then there's my link tree, and then right there's my Twitch. I'm gonna play some Pokemon. Do you like Pokemon? I do. I'm just losing it. I thought you were losing it at like my like completely like unsell of myself.
Oh, both of those. Yeah, both of those. Do you like Pokemon? You should come hang out and watch me.
I'm a bad person.
Coffee members can listen to Podcast Night on Gargantua-1 early. Link available in the show notes or YouTube description. What did you think of the episode, Phantom Spaceman? Yeah, I noticed that too. I wonder when they wrote the movie if they had thought, if they had gone back at all to like see what they could tie in, and if that was something that they chose to tie in as well. Yeah, I don't think I ever would have thought of it that way either. This unfortunately is going to end up a much shorter episode than, we planned, because we don't get to hear what Colin thought of it. I like this episode. The PSA at the end cracked me up. I like how we start in the middle or at the end of a romp in the Amazon, and then it spirals off into random bullshit, because that appeals to my ADHD gremlin brain. I really appreciate how how that goes. And unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to hear Colin's opinions unless you want to let him go for a minute, Phantom Spaceman, because we kind of really need to do... Okay. No, a deal is a deal. So, I guess that's gonna be it, really. It's a solid episode. It has a lot of world building, which we've kind of seen in the previous 10 episodes, but this has... I mean, we go over the Guild of Calamitous Intent some more, Hank's reading the rule book. I don't know. I think, unfortunately, this is going to be it for me today. I'm gonna double check all the airlocks. I'm getting kind of nervous. I don't like being on the space station by myself. It's kind of weird. Okay, no, sorry. You're right, Phantom Spaceman. I'm not technically alone. Do you want to do the outro? Do you have, like, a bit you can do about the next episode? Okay, cool. And I will see you guys in a couple of weeks, hopefully with Colin.